Hi everyone, welcome to Launchpad Corner number 6, an in-person Launchpad Corner. This one's a very special one. We're going to be going over how to handle objections in business. So what's going to happen is that me and Shaher are going to role play on one of the instances. Shaher is going to be the buyer, I'm going to be the seller. On the other one, we're going to switch the roles over. We're going to talk about exactly what it is that we're doing over here that can show you guys how to handle that objection, how to get someone over the line, how to seal that deal. And that's exactly what we're going to be going over today. So in essence, one of the things that you have to bear in mind when you're handling these things is that it's all about the thoughts that you have and how you can articulate them and create a logical flow and a logical map. What happens is that when you get into an objection loop or a feedback loop, what happens is that you are overcoming barriers to action. And your point is that you need to lower them action thresholds right down. So the only way you're going to do that is by presenting a logical case and showcasing how passionate you are about what it is that you're doing. So that's the essence of what it is when you're handling objection loops and things like that. And we're really excited about what we're going to be doing over here. And one of the reasons for bringing this up actually was from the hackathon that we had last week. And a lot of people were handling the presentations and things like that, but when questioning came up, we noticed that quite a few people actually weren't handling the questions as well as they could have. And we had loads and loads of feedback from everyone, where everyone was telling us, how could we handle the questions better? So we like to listen to our community, and that's why we're here today. And as you can see from the video graphics playing in the background, we're all about supercharging you and bringing your dreams to life. So I want to take the time to introduce the person on the other side of the table over here, Shaher Tayfour, who is a UAE coding ambassador, also quite influential within the Coders HQ management sort of thing. Shaher, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, so I'm Shaher Tayfour. I am a UAE coding ambassador and currently leading the Coders HQ community. And at the same time, me and Saif, we are the co-founders of the Launchpad initiative. That this Launchpad Corner is one of the sessions that we give to the audience that we have in our community. So yeah, Saif, should we start?
Yeah, we can start. So we're going to break it down what we're going to do over here. So we're going to spend 10 minutes and we're going to be timed, and a member of the audience will stop us over here. And what's going to basically happen is that in the first 10-minute section is that I'm going to be the seller, Shaher is going to be the buyer. I'm selling an AI shorts clipper, and Shaher is the buyer, and this is the exact same tool that you guys were building in the first workshop last week. So it's really honed in on exactly what you guys are doing, and Shaher is going to be playing the role of WGS.
Yes, the World Government Summit.
So this is a tool that they would have a need for. So we're going to start now, and that's what's going to happen. So we're going to do 10 minutes. We'll talk a little bit about the decisions that we made, and then we're going to flip it around. So this is what's going to happen. So could we please get a warning at 5 minutes, please? A silent warning at 5 minutes, and then we'll take it from there.
Sure.
Shaher, so let's start. I've noticed online that you guys have an exceptional amount of content which actually handles over an hour long in a lot of instances. Now, you know that, and everyone knows that engagement and social media algorithms, they're all catering towards short form contents that are reels. And it's quite an intensive process to make, I'm sure you would agree.
Exactly, yeah.
It takes up quite a long time. So our shorts clipper, what it does is that you just give it the video, and it will automatically find all the interesting sections, resize it, put the subtitles on for you, and it produces video clips at the end that you can easily take and do whatever it is that you want to do. On average, we take 1 hour. Each hour of footage takes roughly around 30 minutes to produce. So that's the product, that's the proposition that we've got for you. We have a SaaS model where you can pay 30 dirhams per month, and from that you'll be able to produce roughly around 500 clips, roughly.
Wonderful.
And that equates to roughly around 8 hours of processed video. So that's the proposition that we have.
So before we go into details, I want to ask you some questions in the general idea of the product that you produce.
Yeah.
So what does your product gives a value to our content as of quality, not as the time saving?
So this is a fantastic question that you put forward. In terms of quality, what it is that we're doing is we're taking AI to find interesting points about your video. Also on top of that, what we're doing is that we take it a step further, is that we actually see where there's multiple linked points that might happen across an extended conversation, and we condense them down. So you might have one point that's mentioned at minute 1, and you might have another point that's mentioned at minute 13, and they're both linked. Yeah. Our AI can detect where these things are going and group them together. So you're getting the chance to send the message across that it is that you want to do. We process the video roughly around 6 times for each clip. That processing includes, for example, the initial transcript that we produce, going over it, seeing which points are linked together, the various different ways that we can link together, and finally we create timestamps, which puts it all together. So we're completely replicating the human brain in terms of editing with what it is that it's going to do. The level of clips that we produce, there is a time-saving aspect to it, and that's what's most important, but it's also the fact that that time saving is directly linked to, and the reason why the time saving is such a big point is that it's directly linked to what it is that's going on in terms of quality production. The more time's going to go in it, the more quality you're going to get. You want to make sure all them really special points are there.
Exactly.
We're making sure it happens there and it gets there immediately.
Okay, but I want to emphasize on one point. So one of the keywords you mentioned was interesting. So interesting videos or interesting things within the video that we have for the 1 hour clip. What do you mean by interesting? What metrics do you have for the word interesting?
Yeah, this is a fantastic point. Is that it's completely subjective, right? You know how I said that we pass over the video multiple times and the transcript multiple times? Is that one of the points that we do is that we find out exactly what that video is on about. What are the points?
No, but exactly, what do you mean by the video? What does it go for? Maybe we could be speaking about one thing for 30 minutes, which is not the main topic. But my idea for this video is to talk about a topic that we talked about only 10 minutes within the video. How do you choose which one is the main topic and what I want to show to my audience?
This is exactly what I was coming on to. So what we've got is that we will segment out the video and we will look for all the key topics that are discussed, where there's a general theme that is going on. Generally, what we found is that we have roughly around a 97% accuracy rate when you're coming onto these points and when you're getting the coverage of the amount of topics that are coming on there. Now, our competitors, one of the things that they do is that they limit the number of videos that you get to 10. We don't limit the number of videos. We actually go in there and make as many videos as we possibly can. We make sure that you get that full coverage. That's the value proposition. Now, one of the things that you are talking about is that there is the option for directionality, where you can input exactly what it is that you want to do. You could say that for this video clip, I want you to specifically focus on this item, and it will focus on that item. But what if you don't have the time? What if you just need to get the content out there? We also cater for that also, and it's dynamic. It's going to automatically add up. So, even if there is a situation where, for example, you wanted to put the directionality in there, but it doesn't, our system is catering for that, making sure what's being spoken about are all these different batches. What can we pull out? What can we reap?
But one of the main points that we concentrate as an organization, which is the quality and the time we need. So what about if your system got something and it was down? How can I know how that your system will be available for me anytime I want?
Very fair point. Now, with our deployment methods is that we have multiple instances that run and a load balancer that runs at any one time. We also have the servers hosted in different geographical locations. So we're following best practice procedures within industry for SaaS as recommended by Microsoft. We're a part of Microsoft for Startups.
So for one of the points that I understand from you, which is that you're under Microsoft, so you're using Azure Cloud for your system, right?
Yes, that's correct, yes.
So do you know if the Azure Cloud has their own systems deployed here within the UAE? Because as a governmental entity, we prefer having our data within the UAE. So I think AWS has it. So why not we go with Opus, for example, because their data will be saved within the UAE.
Opus on the list of platforms list Microsoft, and they also list OpenAI as well.
Yeah.
So that's their backbone and everything like that is quite well known within the circles, because obviously they've raised multi-million-dollar investments, which is quite well known. But your point is very valid. Microsoft is setting up regional bases over here in the UAE. They've been quite proactive in working with the government on various different initiatives, and I'm pretty sure that they do have a Middle Eastern, server base that you can.
But what about if you want to deploy your SaaS on other servers that we have maybe locally?
Yes, we can do that. We can offer that service. It's an additional service charge if you want that security. to come in over there, we can definitely do that.
But one of the other points that we emphasize on, which is how much can you give us for that? How the payments, how will it be?
The payment is handled by, again, standard SaaS model. We're using Stripe to handle the payments. What we do is that we have a flat fee and a usage, and if you go over that usage, you can purchase packs to go over it. You're in control of exactly how much you're spending at any one time.
Okay, but one question that I have is, what company are you using for that? How is the billing? Will it be, the address will be in the UAE? How will it be taxed within the UAE?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we have a tax situation where it's coming in over here, so everything, the company is hosted within the UAE. The Stripe account, the bank account, everything's linked to the UAE, so it'll be subject to the UAE laws and regulations.
Okay, then you can please, if you please, can share the proposal via email, and we'll get back to you soon.
Okay, that's thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
I know that you've got WGS happening just around the corner, so I'll make sure a member of my team gets in touch with you beforehand. And if you want to put us in contact with one of the members of your media team, we can help to accelerate the setup process and make sure you guys are really heading on target and you can get that content out straight.
Sure, we will be looking into that, inshallah, after you send us the proposal from your side.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll have it in the next 5 minutes. Thank you.
Inshallah, thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So that's one thing that you can see over there in terms of what it is that we're doing. Now, one of the points that was being made is that Shaher was coming at me and he was mentioning points around, specifically around, it's very interesting what Shaher did because he tried to trap me one way and then trap me the other way. So Shaher, what would you rate that from a selling perspective from your side?
I would rate it a 8 or a 9, to be honest.
Yeah, for me, I thought it was a 7 from my side in terms of selling. But from the buyer side, what you could see over there is that he was opening up one door on one route and then he was closing it immediately.
Yeah.
So there was points where I would speak with absolute confidence and things like that, and the points where I wasn't. One of the weak points is that I think it was mentioning competitors. Usually you don't want to get into the point where you mention competitors, but when they're closing off all the avenues for you, this is where you kind of get backed into a corner. You want the focus to be on yourself and your value proposition and things like that. Now, one of the points that we actually didn't get around to getting to, Shaher, is that how, you know how I love this as well, and it comes down to what is it that you can do for me, why is it that I would go for you, you know, when they start coming at you personally, you know, and the way that you need to handle it when people come in at you personally is, you know, you need to make sure that you've had a list of credible achievements that they will be aware of in their circle, and you make it known, you know, I mean, you don't leave that off the table. So maybe in this next little session that we'll end up doing, that's what we'll go through. Shaher, do you want to talk through your thought process as the buyer and what it is that you were doing?
For me, for example, I was trying to take Saif to a point where he gets lost. I want to know how much of an understanding he has for his situation in the market. So on the point of power that he has within the product that he is selling. So I wanted everyone in this community to know how to take that, especially when I was taking it from, like, I'm going to the quality side and then going around directly to another point to try to, like, you know, get him off the track. But mashallah, Saif, he has a lot of experience within that, so he got it to the point.
And I think one key moment as well is that when you asked me about having a private server set up, and the response that I gave is quite short and quite cutting, that if you want that service, we'd be happy to provide it for you for a fee. You have to understand, guys, is that one of the things that you have to break in terms of mindset is exactly what's going on when you get to the point that, you know, they're asking you about additional services. This is something that ends up happening, and it's one of the ways that I would say that buyers more or less try to trap you and lock you in, is that they try to get so much value out of so little. Can you imagine if, like, this customer's paying for 30 dirhams per month, you know, and he's getting to produce 500 values, and then also on top of that he wants me to set up a private server and manage it. This is a completely different service. I didn't allow myself to get locked in over there. By answering the way that I did, he understood that he's dealing with someone who's quite well versed in business, who understands that there'll be further negotiations and things like that, who understands the complexity of the task. So it showcases competency and things like that. So we're going to be switching it now around now, right about now. We've got our second POC workshop, which we're going to be making some announcements on soon. You know, so make sure you're following us on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter, on LinkedIn. What other platforms have we got? Every single platform. Linktree, yeah, Linktree is Coders HQ. So I mean, sorry, Coders Launchpad even. We're all one big family. It's okay. So make sure you guys are following us on that. We'll be making announcements soon. We've actually got a lot of announcements.
Let's keep
the
it
death stare again. If you guys have watched some of the podcast episodes, you'll be familiar with Shaher's death stare and preventing me from not saying too much. So anyways, it's a live transcriber tool, and just to break down the tool for you guys, it's quite simple. Speak, someone is going to speak, and whilst they're speaking, it's going to sort of like a YouTube, like SAS or something like that, and people can listen in and they can hear it translated in live into their own language. So I could be speaking in English, and someone from one of the audience members over here that we have over here, they could be listening in, and it's going to be translated into Arabic or Japanese or Spanish, whatever languages they want, and they're going to be able to hear with minimal delay. That's the first point. I'm now going to be the buyer, so I'm taking the position of who am I taking? Jitex. Oh yes. So one of the great use cases of this is actually in conferences. You know, where you might get a lot of people attending, there might be a slight bit of language barrier. Sometimes you have people that are adequate, but then when you've got a highly technical delivery that's going on, it can get lost in translation, you know, sort of thing. So it's about assisting them. So I'm going to be a representative from Jitex, and Shaher is going to sell me this product. So Shaher, when you're ready, take it away.
So,
if we can get the nod on 5 minutes, please.
Assalamu alaikum, Saif, how are you doing? I am the Launchpad, and we have a product that we would like to sell you, which is a live transcriber that will help you within your conference that's coming on October, inshallah, 2024. So you'll be asking, what's the transcriber you're talking about? So our product is a SaaS that can be held from any device that you have. So it's a laptop, a phone, or any other device, tablet, would help you in multiple regions, especially within the UAE, because we have multicultural people that are giving sessions within the Jitex conference, and we want everyone to understand the content that's delivered from these world-class speakers in their own language, because they grasp the knowledge easier. So our service is having the phone. From your phone, you can just open the app, which it's connected to the speaker of the session. You will hear it from your own language, from the comfort of your own phone. You don't need any extra headsets, any cabinets, or all of that. So yeah, I would like to hear your opinion on that.
That's an interesting proposition. One that I've seen that there's been quite a few tools at this that are coming out that are quite similar. How is it? Jitex is one of the record-breaking events in terms of attendance in the region, if not the world. And it's a really busy event. How is it that we can make sure everyone gets onboarded straight away? What does it look like to the user?
It's like an app that we have. So you just open the app, you select the venue that you are in. For example, if you are in DevSlam, you choose the main DevSlam booth. Okay. And from there, you can join the audio session. So you just press on the session, choose your language, and you connect your headphone or headset, or you can even use the speaker, that you can hear the speaker live from the event with no need, with the least cost possible. Because what I know about the live transcribers, other than the SaaS and all of that, you need the cabinet to have people transcribing and all of that. You need the headset itself, the hardware, and within we have something else here in the UAE, the COVID and all of these diseases that spread. So this may be one of the causes that you can get infected in multiple diseases. So this way you can use your own personal headset, your own phone, with the least amount of hardware and getting in touch with other people.
Yeah, I find it quite interesting, and I do like that you tied it into health and safety. Actually, it shows that you guys are thinking quite a bit differently from other proposals that I've had. But one thing that I think is that if people are going to turn up at the event and they're going to want to download an app, that might be difficult. I've had a competitor come and they have a QR code. And we go straight to a website. Yeah, and I think that's easier.
Yeah, they can also use our web page that we have on the website.
Okay.
Our website. They can just join. They choose the event and all of that. They can access that easily from the
Okay. So the QR code then could be done then, yes?
Yeah, it's simple because it's a link, so you can just create your own QR code for each venue, and you can propose it to everyone.
In terms of using it then, let's just say that I'm going to be speaking in English. How is it that I would set it up? What's the overheads for me in terms of people that are managing the stream?
For you as a manager or event manager, all you need is just connect the microphone to the device that you're as an output device, and from there directly it will be streamed to everyone through the internet, of course.
Okay, and what's your scalability like then? in GITEX we had something like 180,000 visitors.
Yes.
So how can you scale to account for 180,000 concurrent streams? How many users do you have currently as well?
We currently have around 1 million users across the world. They're not all active at the same time. The maximum amount of users that we have is around 100,000 people that attended multiple events within the same time, not in the same region, but on using our servers at the same time. But we can scale it up because our product is built for scalability. So scalability was taken into consideration while using the app. So I think it's possible, and we have the amount of scalability. We can scale to that level that you want.
That's interesting.
But that will be for
one of the things that I want to sort of move on to, and then from scalability directly, is that where are you hosting your services? What is your latency like? So I'm talking right now, and how long would it take for it to be translated into Arabic for someone?
It will take something around less than a second. It will be within the millisecond range.
Okay, so we've been speaking with NVIDIA, and NVIDIA often mentions to us about error rates when it comes to translations, especially when you're using AI. I think that from yourself you said using AI.
Exactly.
Could you tell me what your error rate is?
It's
your
actually
compounded error rate.
It's actually the minimum in the market, so you can't find anything less than our error rate.
Okay, so what would that number be?
It will be around 20%, 2%, 2%.
2% error rate.
Yes.
Is it 20%? Is it 2%?
2%.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I feel quite worried because you're giving me two different numbers and there's an order of magnitude between them.
No, I was messed up within the numbers I was saying. It's just 2%.
Okay, that's fine. So you're saying 2% error rate. How have you quantified that? Has there been any particular awards that have been won for that? Is there any proof of competency that is 2%?
No, it is our main thing, but for English exactly to be specified with English, if the speaker is speaking in English, which is used in GITEX, we actually have less than that. But as an average number of error rate, it is 2% for within all languages, because there's different languages, different dialects that can come into consideration. That's why the percentage may be a bit high, but it is the least in the market.
So our main languages that we like to focus on are translations between English and Arabic. Those are the source languages because our speakers either speak English or Arabic.
Yeah.
And people listening on the other side, it would either be English, Arabic, Spanish, Mandarin, or Hindi, Urdu.
Yeah.
Because that's the majority of people that attend.
So as a UAE-based initiative and UAE-based product, we have Arabic into consideration with different dialects.
Okay.
We have the English, which is the standard UK and US English.
Yeah.
But as for the audience, it will be open to all multiple languages. It will be in their own standard language. So Mandarin, it will be the Mandarin. Arabic, it will be in the main dialect as a listener point of view.
Okay, that's interesting. How does the payment structures break down? Because you've been talking to me a while and I still don't understand how I pay you.
It will be a user-based subscription. So it depends on how many users do you have per day or per event in general. It will be paid as a subscription model.
So based on what it is that I've got, so we've got 180,000 visitors, we go over 5 days. What's an indicative cost?
This we need to be discussing that with the sales team, where we'll be sending you a quotation, inshallah, within the 10 minutes.
So you've come to a meeting to sell a product and you can't give me a price?
I can give you the price, but I can give you the exact price for your situation because you are one of the biggest people that we work with, and we want to give you something that adds a value to you.
Give me an indicative price based on your RRP.
It will
and then let me know roughly. We can speak about how much you're might look after me afterwards, but based on your RRP,
on our average price, it will be around $5 per user per day.
Okay.
So that will add up into around $5 million.
Okay, that's interesting. What about the competency of your team?
Actually, we have a high competency team. We have people that range from 5 to 25 years of experience within this field.
Okay. What about the facilitation that you have behind us? Have you worked with any accelerators or any people who helped you develop it? Like, what's your history? Where have you been born out of?
We are actually born from here in the UAE under the Dubai Future Accelerators.
Okay, so you're working directly with DFA then?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. What backing have you had? What's your ownership structure then?
So we're actually owned by me, Shaher Tayfour, and we have some shareholders within the team that they join with me.
Are you the head decision maker?
Yes, I have 51% of this company.
Okay, that's interesting. We have GITEX occurring in 3 weeks' time. How much time will you take to mobilize once we agree price?
As of the significant number of users, we will require around 2 weeks of preparation for that, because we need to upskill we need to upgrade all the servers that we have, the contracts we have with AWS.
You told me that you upscale automatically, and as far as I'm aware, AWS does have services where you can automatically scale instantly as demand comes in.
Yeah, but
so are you using fixed-based scaling techniques?
Yes.
Or? Okay. We would have to see. I want your proposal to come through,
sure.
And I want you to let me know if you can have this done. I would only accept a proposal if you are at this level of scalability you need to accomplish within 7 days.
Sure.
After 7 days, because I need to test exactly what your system is.
Sure, we'll be looking into that, but that will have extra fees, because we usually work on the worldwide scale, and we have other events within this time frame, especially when the big tech events that happen in San Francisco.
So are you saying that, for example, you've come to me and approached to me, and you're going to sell me a service which isn't appropriate or fit for my use case, when you know that I have 180,000 users?
It is ready for you, but we have a duration that we need to fill, which will be before your event. So it won't affect any of the preparation from your side.
So there's an accelerated speed in order to get
yes.
there. Okay, I understand. That's a very fair point. Shaher, you have to send me the proposal within 3 days.
Inshallah.
And we have to make sure that with the proposal is that you are ready for testing within 7 days. I will put you in contact with my team, and we will meet again to have a test run. In 11 days time, we will have the test run for GITEX, which will be taking place at the event. We want to see how it goes. We will sign a preliminary contract, and should the test performance go okay, I will go ahead and confirm the contract and the usage and things like that.
As if you're dealing with one of the leading communities in the leading initiatives here in the UAE, I can ensure you within the 9 days from today, we can start the testing for it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Saif. Thank you.
All right. What is it? That was a little bit different, wasn't it, guys? So you have to see is that what often happens in situations like that, and the reason why I was able to pin Shaher so well is because I've been done over like that multiple times in my history. Shaher, how did you feel about the intensity of that?
It was actually intense. You were blocking me from every single way, but I was trying to avoid the main questions within the scalability. I was trying to take it forward to the point that we will come back to you, because we don't have that set for now.
Yeah. So what happens with high-level sales and high-level ticket items? I mean that, look, that contract, I think that we would agree would be very close to $1 million.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of usage that you're looking at. So when you're dealing with anything that's getting into the high 6 figures, 7 figures is touching, it becomes very much about the person wants to have you committed, and they want to make sure that you know all your information beforehand, and not having your information there is going to be a cardinal sin. It's also, what happens is that you don't just have a business person that's sat in front of you, you often have a technical person as well, and they often double team with you. So the business person softens you up, and the technical person comes and grips you, and gets you from the side. Now, in terms of performance, I would rate that probably around an 8 or a 7, simply because you had the slip up with the 20 or the 2. You know what I mean? Is that that's just something which it was like, okay, what have you done? What certification have you done? And things like that. You know what I mean? One thing that happens is that if you make a mistake like that, one of the things that you definitely need to look to do is to actually switch it into stats that you can back up straight away. Like, you've made a mistake, it's bad. The only way you can get out of it is by showcasing competency. That's the only thing that you can do that can give you some credibility back. You need to switch into that very soon. You need to be very careful when you're being asked to commit on either your technical delivery or any statistics. You cannot get that wrong at all. So you have to be really well drilled. Now, one thing that I want to actually commend Shaher for is the fact that I was trying to take him down certain routes. And it was, I think that my cutting off was a lot more intense than what it was that you were doing. I was trying to throw you off there, you know what I mean? But you could tell that if you're dealing with someone that's, it's a national event, and it's a significant event in the UAE calendar, not just the Dubai calendar. Actually, it's a significant event in the Eastern calendar, you know what I mean, on the world level. You know what I mean? So that's something where you're going to get a level of intensity which isn't quite going to be there if it's just one small part. It's a live item, and you can tell there that straight away is that it all comes down to a lot of the negotiations actually get down very quickly into what is it that you're doing. People don't care about if it's an AI, what's powering it. It could be AI, it could be vegetable oil, it could be whatever you want to do to call it, okay? It can be whatever. People don't care about that. Don't focus on the actual tech. Let them ask the questions if they want it. You just focus on the value proposition and the time proposition, and that's it. So from my selling point of view, it was all focusing on how it would integrate, because from my point of view, if that event, as the buyer, if that event doesn't go right, it's my job and my reputation that's on the line, you know. And for me, it's all about how safe of a bet is this going to be. This is where error rates came in. This is where, you know, how is your scalability is going to come in. This is where your pricing structure is going to come in. I know immediately, like, you know, the person sat on this side knows immediately that, like, you know, the pricing structure isn't going to be like quite there, but it's something that, like, you know, you have to get indicative costs and indicative ideas, because I have a board that sits over me, you know, the board that will manage it, and I have to take it back and forth with them. So that's the point, that from my point of view, it was about really honing in on them items and getting clarity on them and trying to trip him up and see what would happen. So Shaher, what did you feel? What was your opinion?
From my opinion, I was in the first and the second trial. So what we're doing is something off the fly. So we just decided that a couple of minutes ago that we'll be doing this and that. That's why I was not taking it too much within the statistics, because we don't have that much of a research or actually going to details in depth with that. So that's why I was taking it more on into the general ideas and selling something. I did not have the exact number. That's why I slipped with the 20 and 2. Actually, I was like, just not sure exactly which one is the best to go to.
Yeah, I mean, the compounded word error rates roughly around, for an excellent system, sits around 82%.
Yeah.
So like, what is it? When you said 80%, I was like, ooh, like he's actually got that bang on, you know what I mean? But obviously there's varying factors that can come into there. Now, what you have to bear in mind is that when he made that slip, no matter whether you give a good number or a bad number, it's very easy to flip that into a negative straight away. You know what I mean? Like, you know, straight away, like, he gave me a good number and I flipped it into a negative. Can you prove competency? What's your proof? You know, I can literally just start criticizing him straight away. So if he gives me an excellent number, if he gives you a bad number, I mean, it's very obvious that with a bad number, you know, what it is that you're going to do. You know, I didn't actually mention it in the recording, but I was like, I could have actually mentioned the point that, you know, it's roughly around 82%. You know what I mean?
Exactly, that's exactly why after, when I was stuck with these statistics, I just took it out of that and I tried to left it within I was talking about the general numbers, that percentage that I was the best in the region, and what's our services available in the market. That's why I did not. He was trying to take it into details and depth of the numbers. I just escaped that.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the things that you need to do, is that when they're drilling in and they're trying to lay a logical trap for you, you need to lay a logical path out. You know, so for him, it's like, okay, you're now criticizing my competency. Before you get a chance to cut me off, I'm going to take the conversation over here. And you mentioned a few interesting points which distracts the person and gets them off their chain of thought. You know what I mean? Or it makes it very jarring. Now, I could have come back, but that would have been very adversarial. In this situation, is not oftentimes, I mean, like, Shaher, look, you know, we know that personally, actually I can't say, but we know what opinion and what circles it is that, you know, we have, and, you know, how easy it is, you know, to break through and, you know, to actually get discussions and how collaborative the discussions are. So I didn't think that it would be right in the spirit to actually drill in and go in that deep, because the fact is that, you know, Launchpad as a team has actually been doing fantastically well, and that's not the truth of the situation, because we have competencies that we've proved wrong. But when you don't have any competency, you should expect for that drilling to happen. But the way you would escape it, again, if they start getting into technical details and things like that, is that you bring it back around to the value proposition to them. That's how you escape it. You bring it back around to the users, and when you are up against roadblocks, I mean, we haven't had the chance to say this, but one of the things that I often use in my discussions is I say to people, how is it that I can help you get what you want?
Yeah.
You know, this is what I've got right now. What are your objections to it? What is it that I was hoping that in our point that, like, you would really just say no, so I could get into this loop. I was hoping that you would go that deep, you know, but what is it that you can do? You know, I have to say to people, like, for example, let's just say you said that, you know, I'm not interested in this. I'll say, okay, there's one or two reasons. Either you don't like the product at all, or you think that it's not useful, or you think it's not going to help you accomplish your goals. Which one is it?
I'd be like, maybe it does not align with my goals, and I don't actually want it right now.
Okay, what are your goals? How can I help you get there? You're sat with the head of this company right now. I can take this company in any which direction I want.
Sure.
The app that we built it in 28 hours. This is how exceptional our team is. You let me know right now, and let's work something out.
But actually, we're going back to the point which is the AI clipper now. So for us in WGS, we can't work on people that are going towards our goal. We have our own goal, and we want something to be done right now. And this is what you failed to do. So your goals right now is not as what we can do, but we can look into the WGS 2025 inshallah, and we can work something together at that time.
Okay, so, but what I want right now is that I want to help you make WGS 2024 absolutely amazing. This is my competencies. We've had multiple awards. We're backed by the Ministry of AI. You know, we work with Coders HQ. We're training up all the AI engineers in this region. We are the best team. We work faster than anyone else. Our motto is speed, 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 speed. I know that there's going to be some items in here which are going to be problem points for you. Why don't we sit down and we see how we can make it better? You know, I want to help you guys accomplish your goals right now, today. Next year doesn't matter if this year doesn't go as well. Why don't we do something?
One of the main problems that we have is the editing. It's not only, so this 1 hour clip that we have, we need people to edit it. It's actually more than 1 hour. So if you can produce me within the next week, a product that can help me with editing the video, not only just clipping it.
So you want to have the ability to be able to view the clips in situ and then make adjustments from there, so you can get that higher level of quality.
Yes, as you said, you build your own product within 48 hours. So I'm giving
hours actually.
28, that's even better. So I want something within the next week that aligns with the goals and the level that the WGS works with.
Are you free in 4 days' time?
Yes.
We'll have it in 4 days' time, we'll have a meeting then.
Sure. I'll be more than happy to have that.
So look, you can see this is how you close someone. You get them on a logic loop, on a logic track. He wanted to get out of it, but the point is that once that pressure, you put that pressure on him. I'm sure Shaher, you felt that pressure, and I was like, why don't we make it work today? Like there's no point waiting till tomorrow, next year, this year it does not work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is that you're handling the objections and the loops straight away, is that you're appealing to that person's sensibilities. You know, so many times in business, people have said to me no, and I've just said to them, what do you want? What do you need? What are you looking for? You're trying to get a promotion? What do you need to deliver to get a promotion in this field? How can I help you? Actually, Anas, you were at a meeting with me, a meal with me last night, where I literally told the guy, I literally said this to the guy that we were meeting. You know what I mean? I literally said it to him point blank. I was like, look, what do you want to do? You know, what is it that you're trying to do? These are the things that I can offer, and I'm going to be doing these anyways. I want to help you, get your target goals, and in turn, it'll help me get my goals. It's a synergy. It's not like the paths are crossing like this. What you're doing is you explain the paths are going like this. You know what I mean? So it's about seeing how it naturally entwines and unentwines. You know what I mean? And you get that commitment out of them. So that's what we've got in terms of what it is that we've done over here. I really enjoyed that.
Same.
What is it? It's one of my favorite times. Shaher will let you know that whenever we've got to pitch anyone or go speak to anyone, I literally push myself in front and I'm like, let me do it. It's really enjoyable. What you have to get used to is the idea of conflicts and understanding as that person's talking, what questions they're doing, what kind of logic track are they on. So it's really important that you do the logic part first and then the passion part afterwards. How you get the passion part is how you do the inflection on what it is that you're delivering. You come across as very trained. Shaher, I'm sure you got this opinion. You come across as trained. Now, a lot of other people, what happens is that they get involved in the moment and they get nervous with the person it is that they're going to be talking, like things like that. And they might think that, oh my god, I'm going to go meet this person, I'm going to go talk to this person. They get very nervous. That's a you problem. that's what we share.
Yeah.
But the way you actually overcome it is quite simple. Is that when I'm coming and sitting down, I'm not worried if it's Shaher Tayfour, if it's someone else, whoever it might be. There's some high level people that we've had to pitch to for Launchpad.
Yeah.
All I'm worried about is what is their logic loop, like how is their brain working, how are they interpreting what I'm saying.
Or they get back to us, like
Yeah.
what's their feedback would be like. So you're prepared for that.
Yeah, so I'm not, no way at all am I actually worried about the fact that, Shaher, this is Shaher Tayfour, he has this experience, that experience, I'm actually just thinking about, am I understanding what he's saying correctly? Is he understanding what it is that I'm delivering? Because if it's a logical argument and you've got together a watertight logical argument, you've done your research, you understand how to tie it back into what you're doing, and you can make the pitch specific to them, which both of our pitches were specific to them. And we've not even mentioned that because it's a prerequisite. If you go into something without doing your research, you're finished. You're not going to get anywhere. Okay, anything where you're getting close to 5 figures in sales, if you go in there without any research, it's completely dead in the water before you even start. Actually, you probably can't even get the meeting if you haven't done your research. That's the one other thing to bear in mind. You have to do it anyways, but specifically when you get to that level, it doesn't work. So, thinking about the logic, and focusing on the logic, it really helps depressurize the person that you're speaking to and things like that. And again, logic is all in the preparation. So it comes back to Launchpad Corner. Which Launchpad Corner was it, guys? Number 5? Number 4? No, number 3. How to pitch.
How to pitch.
Yeah, so you've seen now what is a business mindset. This is literally a combination of a lot of the things that we've been talking about amongst them first set of Launchpad Corners that we've done. So Shaher, thank you very much for that. I really enjoyed it. Do we have any questions from the audience, guys? You might just speak up a little bit so the microphone can grab you guys. But if you want to raise your hand, if anyone's got any questions, I want to see how to do it. Or any points that you want to make, or if you want to maybe have us role play something else. No?
I think everyone's good with it. They were happy with it. Thank you everyone for attending.
One question.
Okay.
Now, as a seller, you're speaking in a lot of confidence, but then you have a great product. What if you don't have a great product? How would you place yourself? How you want to sell?
There's a saying that marketing is the price you pay for not having a good enough product. It's a huge saying, and it's something to bear in mind. Now, if you don't have a good product, it comes down to how well you can make that person see how what you have is a good fit for them. So one of the points that we didn't mention, which I was hoping that you would drill me on actually, was that why would I go with you when there's OpenStock Pro? They've got multi-million-dollar investors. You actually just mentioned it yourself. If you asked me that question, I would have said that we've built our product in 28 hours, that we don't have investment boards that are over us. We're passionate about this. We can make sure that we improve our product further and further, quicker and quicker. Now these guys have significant investments. They're going to be looking to monetize very, very quickly. That is exactly what they're going to be looking to do. And look at it. You pay a monthly fee and you only get 10 videos per 1 hour footage. From our 8 hours of footage, you're getting about 500 videos. Where's the difference? Our value proposition is completely there. So they might have slight accuracies, but we've only spent 28 hours building this product. We're going to improve it further and further and further and further. If you have a point that you would like us to, or a bar that you would like us to have, then I'd be more than happy to sit down with you. If you've got a video right now, let's actually have it set up over here. We're only 15 minutes into this hour-long meeting. Why don't we have the demo running in the background live? And this is how you would handle the fact that there's products out there that are better, But this is where you really need to have your logical loop. You have to understand why is it. No matter what the product is, it's always not going to be good enough. And no matter what the price is, it's never going to be cheap enough. Go ahead, Anas.
Yeah, we had another question, and I love this a bit more in the second pitching. The seller was trying to sell it as if they are already having multiple customers worldwide. In many cases, it's just a new startup and you're in your initial phases, and you barely have even one customer. So what would be different in New York, selling in chain experience?
So when you've got one customer, you have to really go down into bespoke. When you've got, it's all about building that relationship. The sale becomes, and what I just said is that we can work with you, we can improve the product, we can make it better. That's the process that you go down when you only have one customer. You know what I mean? When, for example, I've had products where I've started it off and I've said to people, look, I'll work with you, I'll make it special, I'll do something like this. People come on and then they are like, okay, I've got this, the product gets up to a certain level, and you take it and they recommend it within their network and you get that effect and you get 5 customers or something like that. all of a sudden you got like 5 customers, you start going to competitors and you play competitors with each other. Like, do you know that your competitor is using this product and this is how much value they're getting out of it? Why aren't you using this? Now all of a sudden you FOMO them in. You know what I mean? So that's exactly what's going on over there, is that you have to create a fear of missing out. You know what I mean? Is that like you start with the relationship and you use that, and then it's all about how you grow it, and the way you grow it is by the fear of missing out till you get to that critical mass. You know, so that is how you have to look at it. But it's also the person themselves, less so the product that they're going to be investing in. Like, if you know how to handle the objections in the sales, they'll like it straight away.
Yeah.
You can cover it off. Like, there's a point where the level of the product's going to come to a certain point and the level of the salesman is going to be at another point. How is it that you can bridge that? And then the way that you make it worthwhile and keep that customer is the level of customer service that you give. You know, how is it that you can make them feel special? How less than a number. So yeah, any follow-up? Go ahead.
So is it correct to say that if you're let's say still in this initial phase, just showing what value you can provide and how you can customize and adapt to this specific customer needs plays in your favor?
Yes, when you're smaller, you can be more specific to their needs, and you can make the decision. At the same time, I've had like companies where I've had multiple, I've had a gluttony of customers, and to get that big customer, I've offered this service. You know what I mean? Like, offered this partnership just to get my foot in the door. You know what I mean? So it's circumstantial. Is that you have to also look at, if you're going to offer this special service, what's the value that you'd get out of it? Like, if it's just monetary value, then or monetary recompense, then it's not truly worth it. But if it's something that's going to make your product more valuable as a result of it, then you would look toward it. You know, but it all depends on the circumstance. I mean, are you thinking of a SaaS or something like that? Like, what kind of product are you thinking of? That, you know, if you're asking about specific ideas, you might have something in your mind. What is it?
Most likely for a SaaS.
Unless I thought you were going to leave me hanging like the podcast episode again.
I think we have Saif another question from
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you pushed Shaher for giving you a price for your specific model, and he said, I don't have a price right now.
Yeah.
There are a lot of SaaS products where if you have a lot of customers, they would say contact us or contact sales. So how do you handle this case where you don't have that technical info about that price?
So I asked him for MSRP. I actually helped him out. I said that, why aren't you giving me MSRP? Like, anyone that's trained in that particular circumstance, they would say, look, if we were to go off MSRP, like, this is what would happen, just to give you a ballpark. But obviously, we're going to look after you. There's a few metrics that I need from you. Can you give me these metrics and we can work out and get back to you straight away? You know what I mean? Like, so this is how you handle situations like when it comes to pricing. If you go in there and you don't have a price, like, it's automatic turn off. You come across as very untrained, very green, very fresh. You have to be committed on your price straight away. You know what I mean? Like, it's a cardinal sin. Like, people come to you standing on something like that, close them straight away, man. Give them a price. Why are you going to make it harder for someone to buy your product? You know, like, one thing that he could have done, actually, in his research was, it's a good way you answer that question, actually, because I didn't go down this line of thought, actually, I'm just thinking about it. But one of the things that you could have done was said that based on last year's usage and what it is, if people were coming on and maybe, you know, you had some feedback where some of the people thought there was some miscommunication issues, 20% of the people, so you'd probably have, out of that 180,000, you'd probably have 36,000 that would be using the system. Probably likely, you know, we're only going to bill you for how much you need, how much you're going to actually use. So for that reason, based on that percentage of users, we'd give you this over the 5 days, and we'd make it very easy for you. You know, so that's like what you could do, is that you could do it based on the previous year's statistics, which is what I've done in the past, is what people feel is most appropriate. Any other questions, guys?
One more question. What if you agree on the product and services that's going to be offered, but you don't agree on their pricing way?
If you don't agree on the product and the services offered, they're not going to agree on price anyways.
Like, I mean, like,
No,
I
if
want
you-
to go for subscription model, I want to go for different models. Like, how do you, like, you offered extra services, you offered scale, you offered technical, but do you also, how do you go?
Okay, do you know about like a business model and how you put together a business model?
No, I'm not a business guy. That's why I'm asking. Like,
Okay,
because
so
you
this,
customize the tech, but can you customize?
you don't
also the
change. You
revenue?
don't change your business model. Your business model is how you're going to. Your business model ties into absolutely everything.
Yeah.
Okay, it ties into the fact that You've got to pay for office space, you've got to pay for lighting, you've got to put the coffee, you've got to make sure the milk's in the fridge, you've got to make sure people are paid on time, everything. It ties into your cash flow. You can be profitable,
But no.
and your cash flow, your money in your bank's going down. You can be losing money and your cash flow is going up. Speed is what helps you with that.
Depends on how you handle the situations.
Yeah. So like if you're gonna now all of a sudden change your business model, you're basically gonna turn your company upside down. That's an actual pivot. Okay, that's not an iteration, that's a full-blown pivot, changing your business model. Okay, so you do not do that at all. You can offer additional services which take a different format. So for example, when I said to Shaher that we could do it for a fee, obviously that ought to be invoiced.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like standard invoiced work in arrears. You know what I mean? So like maybe there'll be a deposit going down, you know, raise the PO, we give the deposit, and then, you know, when the work's done, he pays the full amount. You know, that's something that could happen. But I wouldn't change the core model because it's your cash flow that's going to become the issue.
Yes, we have another question. Yes.
So there are a lot of SaaS products that offer when they start free tier or free service. They end up with a lot of free users that they're not paying. What are your thoughts on that?
Charging people is the quickest way to find out if you built something good enough. Free users that aren't paying for anything isn't going to put food on your table, is it?
No.
It isn't going to help you build your dream, is it?
Right, but they have also paid subscriptions and they have free tier.
No. When you're starting off, you want to be paid straight away. You don't want to be wasting your time. Because if it's not good, you either need to iterate on the idea, you need to pivot it, or you need to do something else entirely. When you're starting off with nothing, go for paid because you're going to understand what the quality bar is. It's easy to get someone to use it for free.
But I think for bigger entities, as they're giving out something new, they would like to take it not only for the cost, they can cover the cost in different many areas they have, but they want the data of the users, the personas, and who will be using them. So they may have other things that they're getting their revenue out of, not as money.
Yeah.
Especially for the big corporations.
It's the concept of like lost market leaders.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like a cost of data acquisition, so to speak, or a marketing exercise to get market share. But when you're starting off, you don't really need market share. You need an idea that people are going to pay for. You know, giving it for free isn't going to give you that. You know what I mean? So don't offer it for free. It's like it makes it very hard. I mean, like one thing that I say, like Y Combinator and the startup school and things like that, and I agree with it, is that, you know, when you've got free users, you've got low quality users that aren't really going to use your data or your product in the way that it is that's going to be beneficial for you. So your data collection is going to be like low quality as well. Because it's just like people are just like casual. When someone's paying for it, they're going to be committing to it. You know what I mean? There's a commitment level. So when you're starting off, yes, definitely. When you can afford to take the hit, then yes, like you do, you know, give a freemium sort of model and things like that. But when you're starting off as a one-man army, or like, you know, like you just got a group of friends together and you're just trying to do something, I would say go for paid straight away. It lets you know if the idea is any good. You know, and like if you need to pivot it or anything like that, like, you know, speed is everything. Like you just need to go quickly, and that's what it's all about. Yeah, so I think we'll call it time on that, guys. Thank you very much. I want to thank Shaher for the meeting. Let us know if you guys want to have any more meetups like this and things like that, really impromptu meetups. So thank you to everyone for being a part of this. I really enjoyed it. If you want to see a sequel or follow-up, or if you guys want to come in here and sit in the seat and get grilled, if you've got any ideas that you want to work through and things like that, we're more than welcome to give you guys a transformative experience and let you go through. People who have actually done this, maybe not on a day-to-day, but definitely a week-to-week basis. You know what I mean? So thank you very much, guys. Thank you. I'm Saif. Shaher, if you want to...
Thank you, everyone. I would like to see more and more people here with us to try to get people on board and try the experience themselves when they're getting stuck in some way, because the best way of learning is actually trying. So yeah, I think we're good to go, Saif.
No, thank you guys. Assalamu alaikum.